Greetings, nail peoples.
Hi, everybody. I'm feeling super lazy today, so I am totally sitting in bed, haha, while I'm broadcasting. Mostly because I'm having a bad allergy day and I don't have clients till later, so I decided to be lazy for you, but never fear, we still have some good stuff to talk about. Um, Hello. So today for Nails Over Coffee, Michelle Cordes Pugh, I have 75 years of Mickey. This is one of my favorites because I have a Steamboat Willie tattoo on my back. So this is one of my favorites. So that's what we're rocking today with some good Sumatran dark roast coffee. So that's yummy. But so I have a couple of really good things to talk with you guys about. Hello, everybody, while you guys are coming in. There was a question regarding a percentage on top of room rent in the Canadian Nail Tech Connection. There was a great video posted about how to apply Swarovski crystals by Talia. And there was something posted by Nails Magazine about working with clients whose product you don't know what's on their nails. So there's some good stuff to talk about today. So we'll let everybody get joined on in here while we're doing that. Look, see my little dream catcher that I sleep with on my wall? That was actually made by a real Navajo Indian. So that's my dream catcher. I think I took too much allergy medicine because I was really decided to sleep in this morning. But yeah, so, and it even matches all my bedroom stuff, yellow and everything. So I like my yellow bedding. It makes me happy. Makes me wake up in a good mood every morning. It's my favorite color, but I can't wear it. So, let's see. So now it looks like we've got everybody joined in who's going to be. We see the glow of my, I'll see my other iOS device is yellow. Okay, so let's, oh, your son is a dream catcher that your little sister made him? That's awesome. Yeah, I was in Williams, Arizona, and they have a store, a little store there in Williams, Arizona, that is all, it's run by Navajo, and it's all Navajo art and everything. And they had these like all the way on up to huge, gigantic ones, but I just bought a small one. So one of my road trip things. So yeah, it's kind of a cool little, piece of folklore. So, okay, so this was posted by Michelle in the Canadian Nail Tech Connection. She made an epic one today. I'll post on Facebook so you can see. Oh, that would be awesome. Thanks. So Michelle said, here's a question for room renters. Do you also pay the salon owner a commission on top of your rent? For example, $500 a month plus 10% commission. Just wondering if that's common practice. Now, the answer to that, trying to do your nails and listening, that's funny, Andrea. So the answer to that is no, you asked me that? Yeah, it is not common practice in our industry, but it is common practice in commercial lease agreements. So, what I answered was, for and Andrea wants us all to know that she is not doing her nails with slick pour. So here's the thing. In commercial lease agreements, it's very common to have a common maintenance, common access maintenance. It's called CAM, a common access maintenance charge. In a mall, it's a lot of times, like if you're in a shopping mall, it is 1% or 2% or something like that, 0.5% of your gross that you pay to the mall. And that pays for mall security, the maintenance of the parking lot, and the maintenance of the mall interiors, all of those kind of things. Common area maintenance. In some rental agreements, it's what's called gross modified, which means they build that into your rent price. And so it's not a separate price, but you pay extra on top of what would be your normal market rent, and it's called gross modified. So that's what we're generally used to in the beauty industry, is that all being built into her rent. But I suppose that the argument could be made from a business perspective that, so for example, you, like in my space, we have our common access maintenance fee is called triple net, which is usually identified by 3 capital N's attached to whatever the rent amount is. And so in commercial leases, it's not uncommon at all for there to be your rent price per square foot per year plus a triple net charge per square foot per year that gets added on to the base rent. So your rent could be $10 per square foot per year, plus your triple net could be $2 per square foot per year, which means you're actually paying $12 per square foot per year, but that $2 is treated differently than your rent. It goes into a different fund. And that's what they use to maintain elevators and walkways and hallways and paint and roofs and vinyl and parking lots and all that kind of stuff. So the argument could be made that while it's not common practice in our industry, maintenance fees, right, Kate? So the argument could be made that if you're in a full service salon or a salon that has a receptionist and a parking lot, and they pay to have that parking lot plowed when it snows, they pay for common maintenance of the restrooms and the waiting area and a receptionist for everybody to greet everybody. They pay for coffee and water for clients in the waiting area, those kind of things. Then there is an argument that could be made that that could be a valid business agreement for a nail or other beauty artist room rental. Now, as far as the rate goes, you just need to make sure that whatever it is explicitly outlined in your lease. You would have to have a commercial lease agreement, and that commercial lease agreement would have to specifically outline what the percentage or dollar amount or whatever was for common area maintenance or common area fees. And it would have to say specifically what that includes. And it would have to be a very definitive agreement. Otherwise, it wouldn't be legal. So that could be. Now, I would think that since like malls are 1%, you know what I mean? I think that the percentage really depends on the salon size, what it includes, all that kind of stuff for you to decide if it would be worth it. And that could be negotiated possibly. You can't negotiate it if it's $1 per square foot per year. You can't negotiate that. That means that it's a set rate for everybody. But if it's a percentage, you could probably negotiate it unless it's a set percentage for everybody. Now, if it's a set percentage for everybody and you can't negotiate that, you could then negotiate the room rent because of what that was going to be. So, keeping in mind that negotiation always works for talking about what you feel it's worth and those kind of things. So keeping that in mind, that a dollar amount, which is gross modified without the common area maintenance fees. So you could have them roll it all in and call your rent gross modified. So maybe in this case, it wouldn't be $500 a month plus 10%. It would be $650 per month. And that would be your gross modified, or, then you'd have a gross modified lease that would include common area maintenance. Or you could say, well, I'm willing to pay 5% of my services for common area maintenance, but then I'd really only feel like I should pay $400 for my space. So, that's all something to be worked about. And as long as it's clearly outlined in what is clearly a commercial lease agreement, it's titled as a commercial lease agreement, it's written up as a commercial lease agreement. Andrea, too much math. I just want to do nails, right? But you know what? That's the business part of what you do. And if of what we do. And if you're going to rent a space and not be an employee, then you either need to be able to do this yourself or you need to have somebody who can do it on your behalf. And that's really important because that's a really important. There are a lot of nail businesses that go under because they're paying way too much for fixed expenses like rent, or they got caught up in some really bad agreement that now they're legally bound to. So, if you don't want to do it or you can't do it, you need to either have a friend or mentor who can help you do it, or hire somebody like me to do it for you. Because that's, that's the business part, and you got to know the law. And so, keeping that in mind. So that was kind of an interesting question that, was posted that I felt like a lot of people could benefit from. Do you guys have any questions on that before I move on to some more fun crystal stuff? I'm going to drink my coffee while you type. Cue the Jeopardy music. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Dun 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 boom boom. Okay, I guess there's no questions. Moving on. I can't believe I just did the whole Final Jeopardy music. Okay, so this was really cool. Talia Sander posted a video on her YouTube, and as usual, I will share the link in the comments below on Facebook. But her video is titled How to Apply Swarovski Crystals to Nails and More. It's a 23-minute video. Oh, sorry, guys. Allergies are kicking my butt. So this was I like Talia's videos because they're, again, from clearly her perspective, what she does and what she uses. And a lot of us nail pros get asked for that, just what we use or what we do. We're not sponsored by anybody or those kind of things. And it's just sharing information with you guys on what we have found that works for us. And she makes it really clear that it may not work for you, or if you found a different way to do it, or if you have a way you taught that were different, it works for you. Whatever works for you, that's fine. But for her, this is what works for her and what she does. So it was a really good video because she talks about, she uses Rhinestones Unlimited to buy her stones from. Oh, good. You just did a wedding set today that had Swarovskis on it. Popped on your Instagram. Very cool. I'll go check that out. So she talks all the way about where she gets them from, the difference between Swarovski and regular stones, the catalog that she uses. It's got some really great stuff about sizing. She talks about application, of how she applies them, how she removes them. She doesn't reuse crystals, but some people do, and this is how to remove them. It's a very, very good video if you're curious about how the crystals thing works. And it's really good. It's all in one place. She edited it down really nicely with some notes. So definitely make sure that if you're at all interested in using Swarovski crystals, or you do, but maybe you just kind of haven't found your groove yet with how to use them, that you definitely go to where I post this on Facebook and go to the comment section below. And I'll have the link to Talia's video on there. It was really good. It was definitely 23 minutes, educationally well spent if you're somebody who uses crystals. So she uses resin. Have generally used a gel paint type thing. But if you're wanting to just set the stones without having any extra glitter or anything else around that, using the resin's a really great idea. And I really like seeing how she does it. So definitely a good video to check out. I'll make sure I get that posted. And I'm at home today, so I'll be able to post this video to YouTube right after we're done. So on to the next thing that I saw, which was on Nails Magazine. and it was posted April 22nd, and it was under the technique category, and it's something to talk about, working with unknown product. And this is really good. I mean, the article starts out, the little blog post, you know, the situation, new clients on the books, and you're not sure what you're going to find. Maybe the product will be thick and so tightly affixed, you make a mental note never to ditch your electric file. Maybe you'll find a yellowish gummy product made from who knows what that mercifully peels back and lifts off in one easy pull. Oh, and hey, look at that. A little extra green surprise for you to clean up. Anyway, so it's got a great little dialogue and write up about options. It's got some other tags of how, hi, Mare, for things to find. And it is just a great little, you know, we talked about when clients have been going to salons where they've been receiving inferior service, or using inferior product or those kind of things that, right, Mare? You have to go back and watch the replay. The beginning was good. I even sang the Jeopardy song. So we all know that this creates a problem for us to talk about with the clients without bad mouthing another tech, which we should never do, whether we agree with what they're using or not. We should never badmouth another tech. It's unprofessional. And so being able to covertly find out where they got them done at so that you can add that into your little Rolodex of places that you don't send clients to. And so you can get a better idea maybe of what's on. A lot of times, especially if nail techs or if clients are really attached to that nail tech, they won't want to disclose that information. And that's totally okay. When they trust you more, they'll slip and let it out. So there's no point in prying. Hi, Amy. But so just a good little thing of being able to say, you know, so kind of checking out what we got going on here and explaining. Take this opportunity, no matter what option you choose, of removing and leaving their nails bare and maybe using IBX or something like that, or whether you remove and reapply, or whatever it is you remove and maybe have to send them to a doctor. Whatever it is that you're doing, make sure you take that time to really educate the client on why what's going on with their nails is what's going on. But it also talks about if you've just got this surprise, they're on your books and you only have time for a fill and they've got some product on, you don't have time to remove it and reapply, some dialogue that you can have with them. Hello, Melissa. Some dialogue that you can have with them regarding, hey, I'm going to have to, I'm going to fill these, but I can't guarantee my work because it's not my work under there. So what we should really do is figure out something in the long term, but let's figure out what that is. Let's figure out what's going on, and figure it out. So, it's a really great example. I'll post the link in the comment section below on Facebook. It's a really good example of controlling the conversation and having a dialogue and establishing a rapport with your new client to help get them some of the best nails they can get. And on the note of new clients, which is not mentioned in this article, I think it's completely and totally appropriate for us to understand that not everyone is our client, and not just from a price perspective. Sometimes from a personality perspective. You know, now that I've got my salon open and I'm accepting new clients again, I have new clients who come to my salon, and maybe they were referred to me. Maybe they found me online. Maybe they're related to a nail tech who sent them to me or whatever. But sometimes we just don't jive personally, and that's okay. You know, sorry, bad connection. Watch the replay. Yes, we did have a nice time at the baseball game. Thank you. Bye, Space Jump. So I think it's important for us to understand that those first appointments where we're asking, you know, do you have kids? Do you not? Do you work? We're getting to know them. We're getting to know their lifestyle, which helps us give them better nails. But it also might reveal some things that don't really jive with us. And what we really don't want is we don't want to try and fit a square peg into a round hole. And maybe that's just somebody that we just personally don't like, or maybe we can feel that they don't like us. And that's totally okay. Do their service. Keep them apprised on what you're doing. So if they set about going to find somebody else for the next time, they at least know what's on their nails. We've educated them. It's all about taking that time that we have across the table with them and determining, without necessarily interviewing, determining, there's clients for everyone, right, Mare? Determining if they're the right fit for us and if we're the right fit for them, and being able to sort of learn over the years to follow your gut. I had a new client this week who was a really hard read. And she is related to a nail artist, and that's who her nails were done by. She liked the product that was on her nails, which doesn't happen to be a product that I use, so I had to use a different product. And we talked and we got to know each other a little bit, and I think she was happy with her nails, but a lady the other day started talking about politics and wouldn't stop, kept asking my opinion. Right, Charlotte? That's a hard one, you know? So I just felt like this particular new client didn't like me. And that's totally fine. If I don't see her back on my books, I'll totally understand why, because I could feel it. Maybe as time goes on, she'll think about it and go, it wasn't so bad. And maybe she'll surprise me and come back. I don't know. But that's okay. Whatever happens with that, it's okay. And we do really need to make sure that we don't talk about, especially it's really hard when there's a lot of election stuff going on, even with your closest clients, even with your clients that you happen to agree with. We need to make sure that we follow my Nana's rule, which was always religion and politics has no place in polite conversation. And my Nana could work a room. And so, yeah, no politics or religion, right, Mare? Jinx again. If you do great work, there will be some clients that will stick with you. Absolutely. But even if they like your work, there's so much more about what we do than just our work to create that long-standing relationship. And so not every client that we do is going to be our people. We've got the EU referendum, Charlotte says, and she was very insistent on talking about it. Eek, right? You guys have heard me say it a bunch if you're my regulars. I do a whole lot of really, nuh-uh. Get out. I hadn't heard that. No way. Well, I'm just working on their nails. Like, I don't even look them in the face when they're going off on one of those tangents. If it's just me and them and I can let them just prattle on, I do a lot of, no way. I hadn't heard that. I'll have to look into that, because then it feels like they're validating. I'll have to look into that. You just said that, Mare, as I said. Oh, and Melissa says, I love deep conversation, but there's a time and place. Mare, I'm starting to really think that we might share a brain. When it comes to nails anyway, right? She says, OMG. But yeah, just a whole lot of, just fillers. I say it all the time. People love to talk about themselves. Let them. Ask them, right, Mare? Mare's dying. Ask them the right questions that will allow them to talk about themselves, because people love to talk about themselves. And in case you've got a client who's more of an introvert and they don't want to talk about themselves, they are somebody who likes hearing about other people, then they're going to want to hear about you. So have your little stories, and we love to listen to the hands, right? Have your little stories, your little diatribes, your little fun tidbits of your personal life that isn't politics, it isn't religion, and it allows you to relate some things about yourself without getting too personal, without disclosing too personal of things. It's all about having your story. What's your story? Yeah, create customer content, says Melissa. Yeah, I mean, just really, that whole, like I said, I call it your story. Um, what parts do you share? What not? Don't think of it on the fly. Think of it ahead of time. What interesting tidbits or funny things or whatever. Like, it's always good for me to talk about my daughter. She's hilarious. So, doing the school mums is fun. Playground politics. Oh my God, I know who is hating who. Laugh out loud, right? Yeah, and absolutely, Melissa. You can repeat it over and over. What your story is just your story. And it has lots of little bits. And yeah, and that's the thing is because of referrals, you're going to find that your clientele becomes very intertwined. And so it's really important to be like a counselor, and what's said to you stays with you. You don't ever repeat it. Maybe you can talk about it with a spouse, or maybe you can talk about it with another nail tech that you have a rapport with, that's sort of on your what talked about with us stays with us sort of rule. But you're going to have clients who talk about each other. You're going to have clients who have falling outs. You're going to have mother daughters. If you're lucky, you're going to have grandmothers, mothers, daughters. And all of those things. Yeah, just play dumb as if it's the first time I've heard it, says, Bebo Beauty. I think I need to know your name because I don't think I like saying Bebo Beauty. Melissa's laughing out loud. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have people who they talk about each other. I have had everything from feuding neighbors that used to be friends, that one referred the other one to me and then they both came to me and they were feuding and there was a property dispute. Victoria. I like that better. I will use that, Victoria. Which is my daughter's middle name, which is a fabulous name. So I think that, you'll come across all of it, everything over the time. And so just keeping that in mind that, you are Switzerland. You're Switzerland. When it comes to being behind the nail table, behind the chair, in the salon, whatever it is you're doing, you are Switzerland. Right down the middle. It doesn't matter if you think Donald Trump is the biggest whack job on the planet and you think Bernie Sanders is a crazy progressive, not having anything to do with that. You are right down the middle. You're just you don't say, get out. Nuh-uh, no way. I saw that. Can you believe it? Crazy, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Really, you're Switzerland, right down the middle, and there's going to be people who it is hard not to get caught up in it, but the thing is that religion and politics and disputes about property, like my neighbors, those kind of things, professionalism, says Melissa, those are things that get people fired up. And, so this is my hardest was sister and sister-in-law falling out, still maintained as clients. Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. Anything that's like that is so emotionally charged that it doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not. What it matters is they come to us to feel better, prettier, happier, when they leave. And so our job is to sort of take all that and diffuse it, and be Switzerland, right down the middle. We don't take sides. We steer off of those kind of topics. I have had, because talk about the nails, right, Melissa? Well, and it's great for me because as I've been spray tan trained and I need to be great listeners with no opinion, right? Or at least not one that we ever say. It was really easy for me with working on getting my spray tanning stuff. When people like to talk about Donald Trump, I just make a wisecrack and say, no matter what you think about him, everybody I think can agree he's orange. And let me tell you about my spray tan stuff. It's not orange. And that's why I use it. So maybe the Don needs to come to me for some spray tanning because he's getting kind of orange. And my JMT Sunless isn't orange. I don't make Oompa Loompa people. And clearly he goes to somebody who makes Oompa Loompas. And everybody gets a laugh out of it. And whether you agree with him or like him or not, it doesn't matter. We can all agree that he's getting a tad orange. And I know he likes it that way, whatever. But that's something that I can talk about. That's funny, that can steer them off topic. Mare says, when I was working near Nashville, I did a studio musician. The stories I heard, oh my gosh. And those are the best, right? Those are the clients we love. Oh, and Donald was totally orange in Pennsylvania, right? Those are the people we love, the people who come to us and they bring us stories and they tell us the stories. They make us going, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Or when we're saying, no way, and we really mean it. And the more they learn to trust us, the more they open up to us, which means the more and better stories we hear, which are all the things that when I write Memoirs of a Manicurist at some point down the road, I will be able to change the name so that the guilty are protected, and there'll be fun stuff. You guys are getting Memoirs of a Manicurist right now, though, via Periscope. Can you believe it's got to be like 200 shows now I've done. Isn't that crazy? I'm going to have to look and see what, because I know that it'll be a year in November, but I'm going to have to look to see when we get to how many shows. Sometimes we have to keep our composure with their stories. Oh, totally. We've had people who, I know, right? No way. We've had people who they tell all kinds of stuff. Like we have one of my former coworkers figured out while the client was in her chair that it was the mistress of another client's husband. Can you imagine? Can you even imagine? And she held her cool through the whole thing. And I think that right? Victoria says, blimey. Oh, damn, right? Says Mare. And she kept her cool through the whole appointment. And she couldn't tell her other client, you crossed some real ethical boundaries there. So she handled it how she was going to handle it, and it all worked out okay. I think that the mistress figured it out before the end of the appointment, that she knew who she was. But Charlotte says, my old hairdresser had the same thing, right? It's hard. It's hard. And so these are all things that are a part of what we do. Rock in a hard place, right? These are all part of what we do that has nothing to do with the products we use or the services we offer or the techniques we do or whatever. These are all things, right? There's a play with that theme, the drama, right? It's just crazy. So all of that stuff, fun stuff today. So for those of you who came in late, today we talked at the beginning about for renters, booth renters, people have your own space, what kind of rental structure, if you can add another fee can be added on top of your rent, and what kind of structure that would have to take. And that was a question from the CNTC. We talked about Talia Sanders' video on how to apply Swarovski crystals to nails and more, how to remove them, how she picks them out, the sizes. It's a great video. I'll post the link below. And then they talk about working with unknown products. The other thing is make sure that you go back to yesterday's video's Facebook post. I did post some pictures of the nails we talked about in yesterday's video. And I also posted a link to the Young Nails Cream Remover video. Andrea, I believe, did order some, and she said it was pretty inexpensive. It was $2.95 for 2 ounces. Andrea says how to gossip. We also talked about, yes, we did. How to stay off religion and politics. So, what's up with salon owners wanting to charge the same for us as stylists? That's something that I really think that just is something that needs to be negotiated. Things have changed, right? I think that that's something that needs to be negotiated with the salon owner. You need to be talking about footprint of square footage you're taking up, cost per square foot. And this is huge in Trump's voice, right, Andrea? because we generally take up a bigger footprint than a stylist does. They can share things that we don't necessarily share. So when you talk about square footage, I understand maybe, but we are a lower dollar volume. Yeah, not math again, says Andrea. This Chi-Chi's. I work retail and I have my license. Afraid to give up my hours. Try to do nails as my career. Any tips? You know what? Make sure you tune back in tomorrow because I did work retail for my first year of doing nails. Mayor says, yeah, but we can't make as much. Everybody needs to join University of Nails and watch the pricing videos because, yeah, we talk about that type of thing a lot. It's all part of the 7Ps, and so you need to know it. Chi-Chi's, you know what? We'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and duck off here for today. But that gives me something to talk about tomorrow. Usually plastic. No, not necessarily. I worked in retail. The tips. Haha. I worked in retail for the first year. I did nails until I built up my clientele. And so that's something I've done. And I can talk quite a bit about. Victoria wants to know if she can ask a random question before we go. Sure, Victoria, shoot your random question at me. I'm going to Willamette. I'll be there. I'll be periscoping. Whoop, whoop. And I'm taking Lauren Wireman's class and Amy Becker's class. But so I will be at Willamette Valley Nail event. Make sure if you walk up to talk to me, you tell me not just your regular name, but what your screen name is. Because I might not. I will see you tomorrow then. Yeah, because I might not recognize you by your name, but I may need your thing. So, oh, you'll see me in both classes. Nice. Okay, Victoria, how the heck do you post videos to YouTube? I can't add my Periscope one. So here's what happens is you need to make sure it saves to your camera roll or your photos and videos in your device. And then once it's saved to that, you can go into the YouTube app. You click on, you're logged in as yourself, and you click on the little thing that looks like a movie camera. You touch that, it'll bring you to your camera roll. You can select the video. And then it will, it'll take you to where you can edit it, where you can trim it if you need to. And then you just click next and it'll take you to the screen, where you can type in the description. It doesn't find the video. Is that the only way now? I'm sure it's not the only way. It's the way I use. You can do it from transferring it to your computer and uploading it from there. I find it's faster and the codec formats better, just continuing to do it from my iOS device. If it can't find the video, maybe you have the video saved. So try it from the camera roll, but it won't publish. I've had that happen before. You might need to go in to check your settings. You have an iPad mini. You might need to go check your settings with YouTube and with your iOS settings. It does need to know the right codec to upload it to. Let me look into that a little bit, and I will see what I can find. I'll see what I can find, because I know that I've always had an easier time doing it from my iOS device. So I'll see what I can find for you, Victoria. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow. So take care. Ciao. Arrivederci. Sayonara.